Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold Inventors Show. I'm JD Hoovener, your host, and my co-host Matt Colseth over here. Matt, good afternoon.
Well, hello. How's it going?
I'm going good today. Thank you. Um, you know, yeah, it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. I missed you yesterday for the Bold Lawyers Show.
Yeah, sorry. I was out whining and dining my wife. It's our 14-year anniversary, so we were
Oh, man,
you
that's
know
great.
putting in the time.
Don't be sorry about that. That's awesome. I was happy for you.
It was great, man. It was great.
Good. Awesome. So let's see here. We've got a good show today. I've got a guest, a family friend, who is into Internet of Things. So you may have heard from the title for today. So Seth Bafford is waiting backstage. I'll bring him on just in a few minutes here. He'll be able to share a lot of cool, interesting stuff about devices, compliance, and some of the things that I think a lot of inventors and entrepreneurs forget about. And it's kind of like, if you forget about to get a patent and you just go start selling a product, you might just end up, right, in trouble, right, infringing someone else's patent or other things. So that is on the way. We have 3 preloaded questions throughout the week. We're published, broadcasting, I should say, to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Someday Instagram. I've got to get like 200 more followers, Matt. Then I can do lives on Instagram.
Great.
Right now, they won't let me in.
Yeah. Does Twitter do? I'm sorry, X. Does X do like a live stream or anything like that?
Oh, X, the new Twitter. Is it called X now?
I think it's called X.
Oh man, I saw the funniest thing.
It's a terrible brand.
Right. We'd love to talk about that. Quick little legal disclaimer: we're not your attorneys. We are lawyers, but this is not a privileged, confidential discussion. If you want to move forward and have a discussion with us, I'll provide a link here to do that. And then I'm going to try to recount a really funny post that I saw. So that's your link. If you want to just see if now's the right time, do a free discovery call with Dallas. It'll be great. And that link will give you a copy of this book behind me, Bold Ideas: The Inventor's Guide to Patents. It was the World Wildlife Federation. Have you seen this?
So I know the WWF only because my daughter cooked a frog one time and felt really bad about it, and so as an amends, we made a donation to the WWF.
Oh my gosh! Did she do like the slow boil thing, or was it just complete?
No, I think she just found the toad, and I had a fire going, and she decided to hop the toad in the fire.
Yeah.
She was like 4 years old at the time.
Oh,
she's not a psychopath or anything like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we made a one-time donation to the WWF.
Okay.
What about them?
Well, I really struggle with storytelling, but okay. It basically showed the progression of Twitter's logo over the years, right? It started like kind of a different bird, and they changed it to kind of a fatter bird with a small beak. Then it was kind of more of a, clean line bird. But a lot of it was the same. And the last one was the X, right? And it was kind of along the lines of, don't let this happen to endangered animals, right? It's the big X on the bird. I like it. Awesome. Anyway, I said on LinkedIn or something. So yeah, wild change there. But of course, it's Elon.
Some might say ill-advised.
Some might say, would you say?
I would say.
You count for more than some.
Elon Musk has made a lot better business decisions in his life than I have. So, who am I to say that's a dumb decision? We'll see.
Very, very well. Okay, we have. I hope we have some live viewers. We have some there on LinkedIn. But when we do have a live viewer, we will prioritize your question. You of course can send them out throughout the week. But if you're here live with us, we're going to prioritize it. So bring on those live questions. Anything at all related to patents, trademarks, copyrights, intellectual property, and of course the subject that our guest is coming on for, IoT devices and compliance regulation. So let's bring Seth on. Seth Bafford, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hey guys.
Hey Seth.
Yay! So good to have you.
I heard donation to the WWF, and I was thinking like the People's Elbow and the World Wrestling Federation. I was a bit confused.
Yeah, right. It might be the same organization. I don't know. I didn't look.
They're taking donations.
Made the donation. I don't know.
Yeah. Love it. Let's get to it. So we have an inventor community, entrepreneurs listening, business owners. When I hear compliance regulation, I start to kind of just get sleepy. But no, tell me what are people missing? Give us a little background on your, technical upcoming and how you found yourself in this role as a consultant.
Yeah, no. So, you know, regulatory is probably, and compliance is probably one of the least exciting portions of, let's say, engineering, and sometimes some of the most invisible. It can be likened to insurance for anybody, like a consumer or business for that matter.
Right.
Until you need it, you probably don't think about it as much as you should. So it can be the most invisible, and then also the most visible part of your reality at times. So regulatory, for that matter, particularly as it would pertain to like inventors or manufacturers that are trying to just design the coolest product to get it on the market and sell it and change the world, make money, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
If there's a legal thing that needs to be addressed from a regulatory standpoint, it can be a gating factor from you actually getting your product launched. And IoT devices, as I would describe them from the industry that I've worked in for many years, it's really talking about gating engineering factors to getting your product launched, such as the wireless technology. So you're seeing wireless radios getting in every kind of product you could imagine. Toothbrushes, obviously their cell phones is the most easy example, but sports equipment, video gaming accessories, hunting and backpacking tools, wireless solar panel chargers, up in the middle of nowhere, a lot of track and trace stuff like that.
Yeah. Matt is trying to contain his, was it an emu or ostrich out there? Oh, peacock.
Peacock. Yeah.
Giant peacock.
Yeah. I'm going to slap an Apple tag on him or something. I don't know.
Wireless
Just so you can track them.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a wireless Internet of Things on them.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, logistics is huge. I mean, product, you want to track foods going in containers going all over the world. Inventory, whatever it is. There's all these different wireless technologies that are being utilized, and it's a highly regulated space. So if you're to design a product and you say, I want my product to have Bluetooth in it, there is some work you should do just as early ahead of time as possible to kind of assess what you will need to legally sell the product.
Who do you call? I mean, do you call someone like you? I mean,
yeah, Ghostbusters.
It's classic. This is even on my radar. This is just wild. People are inventing stuff. We've patented stuff like this before, and I didn't even think to advise or give recommendations for. Oh yeah, you might need to make sure it's legal to actually go sell this. And my question to you when we were chatting a couple weeks ago was, does someone like Amazon, do they even care? Can you just list stuff, or eBay? I don't know. Can you sell things online without having gone through some of these hurdles or certifications?
Yeah, it's a little bit of the Wild West. I would say kind of the first thing any designer or manufacturer, whomever, should do is think about the country you're going to sell the product in, and then the intended environment. So is it, let's say the USA is an easy example. We're here. Is it for residential use, commercial use, medical, aerospace, defense, automotive? Because you're going to have legal requirements based on the country and the intended application or environment of the product. So if you want to sell a Wi-Fi product into the house, the federal government is going to control the radio spectrum. So that's the FCC. Most of us probably think of the FCC if you ever listen to Howard Stern, because he argues with them for like the last 30 years, trying to shut his free speech down, right?
Right.
But the FCC really controls wireless technology like a freeway, northbound and southbound. And there are different lanes of the freeway that are allowed to transmit things and other lanes that are not. So one of the first things I would say if you're going to design a wireless product is you're going to be buying that technology from somebody. And that's your first place of guidance, whoever that supplier is for a radio chip going into your product. They'll have documentation and guidance to provide for you, but they're not going to do the work for you most of the time. They're going to say, here's some information, but you need to really consult with a agency or third-party testing and certification laboratory. And there's a massive market for that. Any tinkerer or designer could just Google FCC testing or FCC certification, and you'll get a million hits on Google.
Okay.
There's a big market of people. And really the biggest recommendation I would say, people in relationships make the world go around. So do your best to get to an actual person, a subject matter expert that can help walk you through what you need to do.
Would you say that like most, prototyping, design, or manufacturers know these FCC testers pretty well?
It's kind of across the board, because what you'll see is a software company deciding they want to move into hardware, and it's a brand new world. Or you'll see a hardware company that maybe they made, some industrial mechanical thing for so long, but they don't know anything about electrical engineering, design, and wireless as an IoT application. So it's a little across the board. Really prevalent brands that we would all know about, that you'd see up and down Best Buy. They're pretty well locked into what those needs are. But I've worked with a lot of independents designing a product. People tinkering in garages to somebody who got some seed money from an angel investor, and from my observation, their focus is really on designing a cool product that can sell and make some money. But if you don't check some of the regulatory boxes from the beginning, or at least have an awareness of it, it can be problematic. So one really good piece of advice is, if there's a similar product on the market, go look at what it has. Literally either physically flip it over. It's not too difficult. I mean, everybody's got like a brick top power supply. That's not an IoT device, but there's all sorts of regulatory labeling stuff on there.
Yeah.
Some earbuds, whatever it might be. That's not a bad place to check. So assessing similar product. And then, as far as like pitfalls go, if you're designing a product, if you can think about what are unique engineering technologies I'm putting into my product that could be of concern. And this is everyday people can think like this. So lithium-ion batteries has been in the news forever, right?
Right.
Causing fires, it's a big safety concern.
You couldn't even carry them on the airplane, right?
Yeah. And in fact, I was in Denver, going through the Denver airport years ago, when I think it was like Samsung, it was having a battery issue, and that they announced it across the airport. If you have a Samsung device, you cannot bring it on the plane. I mean, it's rough PR, right? I mean, national broadcast in all the major airports with millions of people. So things like lithium-ion batteries, if you have any kind of light source that's non-indicator, like a flash or a laser, people are concerned about those with your eyes, optical radiation. We talked about the wireless radios. It's one of the most highly regulated regulatory things really in the world. So, these are things to consider. Also, you mentioned like Amazon or Best Buy or whomever. So with an IoT hardware device, there's regulatory stuff to be considered, but also your distribution channel or end customer. You may want to get into a big retail environment, and they may have specifications that they want you to meet too in order to play in their realm. So there's a lot to be assessed in this environment. There's a lot of consultants out there for IoT hardware devices and design. And there's a lot of third-party testing laboratories out there, such as CSA is a very famous one in Canada. Intertech is a very famous one. TUV Rhineland, Underwriters Laboratories. There's a whole market of third-party agencies and test outfits out there that should be able to support.
So, Seth, just to jump in here. So, like, say I am bringing an IoT device to market, and I have not gone through any regulatory agency or consulted anyone. What's the downside to, not filing to get some sort of certification? Are there FCC police?
There's not necessarily FCC police, but there is market surveillance. So and I'm not saying that this would happen. Again, I'm just here as an advisor, but there are.
We love to trade in hypotheticals here.
That's right. Yeah.
I was going to do a headphone example, but no, this is excellent. Matt's going to do it. So maybe this is maybe the point. If I spot a competitor and I want to get them, I feel like they're not complying, can I go rat on them?
Yes, this is something that happens. Highly competitive environments, manufacturers will take product off the shelf. They'll see if they're doing what we're doing, since we're doing a similar type of thing. So that is one area of concern if I were a designer of my own product. But also just market surveillance with governments wanting to protect their spectrum, their wireless IoT spectrum, things that transmit in 2.45 gigahertz Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. These are what they call unlicensed bands, not to get too nerdy, but there's everybody transmitting in them. They all have to play nicely according to the rules. So there is the potential for a really, to kind of be ratted out by a competitor, but also for one of the federal governments around the world. They want to protect that spectrum, so they could pull product, and then they'll notify you and try and work through it. And you don't want to ignore the federal government when they come calling.
No. Okay.
That is to say, also, just as one little last bullet point, this is something that's very doable. So it shouldn't be something that should be of high concern. Manufacturers, designers, tinkerers get through it every day all across the globe.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, give me big round numbers. Let's talk investment. How much money and how long is it going to take? I got a new set of headphones I just designed. I've got them all built out, all engineering specced. I'm ready. Who do I talk to? How long is it going to take, and how much money?
Yeah, $10 million. No, it really depends on what your product is, where you're selling it, and what government, right? It's a very difficult question to answer. You're selling a pair of headphones in the United States?
I'm going to pinpoint it. I'll make it U.S. only. I want to sell it online only. U.S.
online only. U.S. only. It's a pair of headphones for the, and let's say they're Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably looking anywhere in the range of $5,000 to $10,000 just to address FCC type considerations.
Okay.
Because there's multi layers to that onion.
Sure.
But there's other things you got to worry about too. California has its own set of regulations.
Like the Prop 65 stuff.
Say that again.
Like the Prop 65 stuff. Everything causes cancer besides water.
Well, there's that. There's Prop 65. There's the Europeans have their own versions of that. So again, it's really one of those things you got to start at a building block level. It's like, where are we selling this? Where do we want to make money? And then we're going to tailor all the regulations you got to address to it. And some are simpler, than others. There's some that are actually even kind of voluntary, so you need a partner to navigate that.
Okay. If someone wanted to reach out to you, are you open to me sharing your email address?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay.
Also, I'm on LinkedIn as well. Whatever you want to do, I'm in.
All right. Dude, you're full of information. I want there to be enough time for you to get dirty because I like that stuff. 2.4 gigahertz. I don't even know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is awesome.
You can nerd out so hard.
I love that analogy where there's the highway of stuff, and you're probably going to buy someone else's chip. So maybe can you buy something that's already been pre-certified, right? Meaning, instead of me having to start fresh, like, can I bring in buy a chip or to buy everything that's already been tested on other devices?
Yes. As a matter of fact,
if it's a new thing, a new chip.
Yeah.
Right.
About 70%, I would say, just of any wireless device is going to be leveraging a pre-certified radio module, is what they call it. And there's still some due diligence you have to do, but it takes the burden of all that regulatory off the end product guy, the guy that's making the, smart sports ball, that wants to put Bluetooth in it. There are things that you can do to really take that burden of cost down.
Seth, what's the timeline? How soon or how much before I go to market with the product, an IoT product, do I need to be talking to you or filing some compliance work?
Earlier the better. If you have a design like what they call them, DUT or a beta version of the product, the sooner you can communicate with a third-party test lab or consultant, the better. Just because what you don't want to have is a hard launch and have some hiccups and gotchas prevent that occurring. So say you want to launch in July, but maybe you have development samples ready several months before that, as early as possible that you can reach out to a third-party test lab, the better, an FCC lab, if you will.
Okay, Seth, we're gonna have to be back on. I've got a ton more questions.
Yeah.
We'll go to our next segment, the bold bite. So there's Seth's emails right there, sdbafford@gmail.com if you have questions for him. We still have 10 minutes left, so if you have any questions and you're watching live, send them in right now. We'll get to them before we wrap up. Seth and Matt will have you guys mute your microphones. I'm gonna switch mine over, and we're going to go to our Bold Bite here. Okay, check, present. I tried to find an IoT. You know, this thing is not so techy, and I know for Matt at least, we're nearing that 5 o'clock hour, so 5 o'clock somewhere with respect to this pitch. Matt, can you confirm the audio is working?
Good.
Okay, here we go.
Next up is a product designed to keep you cool.
Hey Sharks, I'm Chase. Our company is Chill Systems, and this is the Chiller. It's a portable beverage cooler with freezing gel built in. And
Hey Sharks,
this is Brian.
sorry I'm late. I had to buy ice.
Oof, the Chiller doesn't need ice.
Man, I had to stop at the inconvenience store. Now I gotta break this up.
I put
Good thing we at Chill Systems are offering a more sustainable solution. Choosing a chiller reduces waste of clean water and single-use plastics.
and we proudly donate a portion of every purchase to support clean water projects around the world.
And you can too. Partner with us. We're seeking $150,000 for 15% equity. And together, we can change chilling forever.
Sharks, you each have samples complete with chill drinks.
Chill.
So this doubles. You can either do cans,
Yep,
or you take the cans out like I just did, and then it's for a bottle.
that's right.
Oh,
It's incredibly versatile.
It only holds 3 cans. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'll get through this in about 45 minutes.
Sure, and you know, Kevin, we've heard that feedback.
Date? That's over the last 2 years. We started with a Kickstarter campaign. We did 51,000 on Kickstarter.
What's the cost?
Okay. The chiller you have in front of you, our product cost is awful.
Never ever start.
I understand. I understand.
Come on.
Let me get
Awful.
there. Let me get there. That was about $18 a unit to build. Now, then we had to import the units, $350 a unit. So we
now you're
imported,
up to $22.
we added
plus?
those sleeves, added another $11. Okay.
Now you're up to $32.
Up to all the way up to $37 for that one that you have in front of you.
Make it.
Now,
To make it.
The cost?
yes.
$37.
Do it.
Good.
The reason it's not just because we want to make a difference, it's also because we want to learn. And we're at Google and Apple, we had great jobs, and we're thinking to ourselves every night when we come home, we're not learning enough. We're here at the office and we're doing the tasks that are being sent our way, but we're not learning enough. So it wasn't
Right.
just about making a difference, it's
You
about
might
learning.
you might be the
about
nicest guy in the
building.
world, but your story has so many lapses of credibility for me. Who's your competitor? It's ICE. Like, come on, seriously.
We know there's a lot of
You-
competition in the cooler market. We're
you-
not
you
shying
don't-
away
you-
from that.
No, not at all.
Then
This is the problem we're trying to solve.
the story pivots to sustainability, and your product is made of plastic and
Plastic that's meant to last forever and it's fully
but
recycled.
Come on, I throw this
if you
in
use
the-
this
and-
product, then you
and
don't
then-
have to buy the bag of ice.
and then like, well, that's not really the story. It's about learning something.
No,
I wasn't
it's both.
learning enough at Apple and Google. Look, putting all that aside, it was a bad presentation.
All right, you guys. Ouch. Robert gave it to him.
Boom, burn, skewered.
No sharks.
Damn.
I know we focused on Robert. So initial take, Matt. Let's go to you, and then we'll from the trademark perspective. Chill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad brand, right? Chill Systems. When they tell me Chill Systems is the brand, it's like, okay, one, you guys are obviously, nerds because you include the word system in your product. But two, I mean, it's descriptive. Chill Systems. I mean, like, I know what you're doing. You're in the refrigerated something, category. So they did receive trademark registrations for CS Chill Systems for their non-electric portable coolers, but
Design mark, was it a word mark?
it's a word mark and the design mark, but they had to disclaim the words Chill Systems because it describes a quality or feature of the products. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they own CS.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you guys want to start a product company and manufacture these for half the cost and call it Chill Systems, we can, because they don't own that.
Yeah, they just missed the mark all over the place. I mean, you heard the cost per unit, $37. Guys.
Crazy. $37 to produce that?
I don't know. Yeah,
That's
rough.
nutty.
They didn't bother to file a patent. They could have. I mean, obviously, coolers have been around for a long time, so the utility could be challenging. But the fact they have these different holes, that would be a good fit for a design patent in my mind, right? So the way that it looks, the aesthetics, it can have a functional effect, but the what you actually own with the design patent is the three-dimensional shape. I thought that was unique. They didn't have anything on file, and nothing came up on my Google search or the patent system. So I think it's a missed opportunity, but they were really kind of off base on a lot of different points there. I know it wasn't wireless technology or anything like electronic, but Seth, any comments on your end?
I think I've never drinking less than 3 beers in my life. So I don't know what that was really accomplishing.
Wonderful. Their reply was, well, you can just, once you drink one, you can put a new one in, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how good that does.
Yeah, it's a
Coolers
dumb
have had a
product.
hard go on Shark
Gonna
Tank.
throw that out there. That's a dumb product with a dumber name. So,
Okay, guys. All right. Ouch. Well, and I will. Well, let's move on. We have 3.
I assume these guys are not in business anymore.
Couldn't find a darn.
Your guests next week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's look them up. Let's take a quick. So, Chill Systems, Cooler, Shark Tank.
Yeah, there's been a few coolers on Shark Tank. I'm pretty
Get a
sure.
bunch of Yeti. No, I don't see any products. No. Sorry.
No, they're back to working it for Google and Apple. Poor them.
They are. Let's hope. There is this. This is I don't know. I have to show this one. This is interesting. I don't know why I'm showing this, but it's a single bottle. It's called the Chill Pill. Has a cool name. It's for a single can. Like, you really want that to be cold. You get that first drink to be ready to go when you're done with it.
24 of them.
That's weird.
Okay. Let's go to our 3 questions. We had 2 trails. I'll start with you, Matt. New York or Toms River, New Jersey?
Oh, I'm always down for New Jersey, man. Let's go.
New Jersey. Okay, this one's short and sweet. This is going to be about, ring finders. I don't know what a ring finder. I'll just read it out. Of course, start. Can I be sued? Yes, you can. Can I be sued for a similar name and business trademark? The Ring Finders versus the Finders New Jersey versus Ring Finders South Jersey. I wish to register the 2 latter. I don't know what the Ring Finders is, but what do you think?
I don't know what the Ring Finders is, but yes, that would be. Let's assume the Ring Finders and the Finders New Jersey, blah blah blah, are in the same category, the same product or same service or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
If they own Ring Finders, then yes, you would be in violation of their trademark rights because Finders is basically the same word, and you're basically just adding a descriptor, which is in this place location.
I think in that second one, he or she forgot the word ring, so they're trying to just add a geographic descriptor. Is that going to do it?
No, it is not.
All right,
it is definitely not.
Rough handle, anyways, right?
Ooh, Ring Finders.
Ring Finders.
So this is Ring Finders are an online business directory featuring metal detecting specialists.
Okay, cool.
You lost it, we find it.
So there's just no hope for someone trying to go with Ring Finders South
New Jersey. No. You'd have to go to them and get a consent or some sort of license.
Okay, that was an easy one.
Yep.
I'll give you the other one just because that was too easy. New York. This is a longer one. Someone's getting a little nerdy here with root terms and all kinds of stuff. All right. Can I trademark a root term to be sufficient for trademark protection of relevant longer terms, including said root? Hypothetical, a company called Apple, probably heard of them, has a registered trademark for the term Apple. It covers all electronics.
Mm-hmm.
They create a keyboard called Apple Keyboard, right? Then automatically protect it under the trademark Apple, since Apple Keyboard includes the term Apple? Or does the company need a separate trademark specifically for Apple Keyboard?
Apple covers everything, right? The word keyboard, again, is descriptive, so you can't get a trademark registration for the word keyboard. If you were to file technically you could file to apply for Apple Keyboard, or Apple could. You can't, I can't. But you could register Apple Keyboard, but they would disclaim the word keyboard in the registration. So that's why companies typically will, have their products have their own distinct names, right? Maybe it's not keyboard, maybe it's something else, iTouch or, iKey or whatever Apple wants to call it, but you can't register, protect things like keyboard. So in this particular case, Apple's the brand, it's the king, queen brand, whatever you want to call it, and everything kind of falls under that brand.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's do this. Mine is even easier. I just looked at it. how do I file a patent? I want to register myself, design product, and release it in the market. I would, and this is great that you're asking this question, to protect yourself before you go launch. The US does have a grace period of 1 year. So once you publish or start selling, you can go seek patent protection after up to 1 year. But it's always advisable to speak with a patent attorney before going to market. So we can help do some research first and look and see what potential prior art, meaning previous publications or patents that have been out there in the public. So you know exactly what you might have, what your options are and potential is for locking in a patent on that product. You can also get some information about other competitors that might sue you, right? Or send you a cease and desist letter if in fact you're stepping on their toes. So even if you don't end up coming away with a patent, it's a good thing to check on first.
Yeah. And full disclosure, I mean, for the folks listening, I'm a trademark attorney, right? When it came time for me to file a patent, do you think I filed a patent even though I've been around it for 15 years? I did not. I had JD do it. Yes. So, yeah, even if you've been around this stuff for as long as I have, I'm not a patent attorney. So I hired a patent attorney to do it.
Right back at you, Matt. And when we protected our trademark, do you think I filed it? No. No. Matt filed it, right?
Right.
A handful of stuff around bold. So all you lawyers out there, don't you start any law firms with the word bold. We're going to come after you.
Yeah, no, we'll come after you hard.
But you can make all the bold coolers you want. Okay, right. 3 or 4, however you want. Seth, we have to wrap up. Thank you for coming on as our guest. I appreciate you being here with us.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
You're welcome, for sure. And Matt, thanks as always for being a co-host with me.
Yep.
For Bold Patents and the whole team here. We're here next week, every Wednesday, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 on East Coast. We'll see you next week. Have a good day, everybody. Go big, go bold.